Hi guys, it's Angie, and I'm coming today to do a quick little tutorial and do the 10 crafty questions, and I was nominated by Tracy Fox, so thank you so much, Tracy. I think this is an awesome challenge. It gets away, it's a way for you guys to get to know me better, which I think is awesome. So the little tutorial that we'll start off first, we'll do that quick, and then I'll go into the 10 questions really quick. So I was working on a project, a junk journal, and I did this tag, and I was just working on my last little thing over here, a little project that I'm going to share with you. And I thought it would be fun to share this little idea with you, and so you guys can take your spin on it. And it's nothing big. It's just, you know, adding things that you've already seen and adding them together in just a little bit of a different way. So we've all seen the fabric tabs on tags lately, and different kind of ways to do tabs on junk journals on the signatures. So as I was putting this together, I have come across a bunch of paper clips, silver paper clips that I've had, and I thought, how fun would it be to incorporate the paper clip as part of the tab. So we'll call this a paper clip tab hanger. So here it is, you guys. So all I did was just make the fabric tab exactly how you would. But before, as I flipped it over the paper clip, I did a running stitch on my sewing machine, but be careful if you do that so you don't break your needle. Or you could just do a hand running stitch across here. And then the next thing I did was, before I did that, I kind of distressed the paper clip because I'm not a big fan of silver. I don't dislike it, but I'm not gravitated towards it. Excuse me. And then I just took a needle nose plier and bent the ends up. And then I did this little, I don't know, bitty bit bow, I guess I'll call it. I do it out of the scraps, and that's something that's super easy. I can show you how to do that in a later video or on live or something one night. It's super easy. So I added that there, and then just off of one of the looped ends, I just dangled some glass beads on it and a little gypsy bead. And then I wanted the illusion, you know, of netting coming around and tying it on the top of the tag. So I did that, cut it off, put the tab over it, and then continued it on the paper clip, because I just love things hanging off of the tags as well. And so I thought that'd be cool to kind of give the illusion that the top is tied up here. So there you go, guys. And I'm not the best teacher, you guys, and that's kind of why I don't do tutorials that often, because I'm just kind of like a rambler, and I don't know if I teach very well. I kind of just say what I need to say, I guess. But anyways, that's how that turned out. Oh, and I also added a few little things and some paint and whatnot. So yeah, so that's just one idea. And the other idea was a tab for your signatures. So here's a little signature here. And so all this does is just, you will open it up here, and then you'll hang it off the side here. And then, you know, you'll take your next signature, and I got the second one in, so I'm going to do the last one with you. Let's see, right here. And then I just hang off the side like this. So you kind of get the idea of what I'm going for. It just gives it like a different kind of feel, you know, and you know, the tabs are so fun to play around with, little fabric tabs, and I thought this would be a fun idea to just add the paper clip and turn it sideways and add the dangles. You can do your loop up here, you can flip it around and do it up here to your preference. I will distress these as well. I kind of did, but it kind of rubbed off. So I'm going to show you how to make these right here. And like I said, it's super, super, super simple. Just basically flipping it on its side. So what you're going to need is a paper clip, which I already whip stitched the fabric on. Then you're just going to need some bitty bits. I have like cheesecloth, a piece of fabric, and a little piece of doily, some numbers, some jewelry wire, glass bead, jump ring, a trinket, and I use a little bell. Alright, so let's get started. So anyways, you're just going to whip stitch that or run it through your sewing machine. Your little tab, and it's going to go this way. So this is going to be the open part, and then let's see, we're going to we're going to do it this way. So then I'm going to take my needle nose pliers. I'm just going to do a loop really, let's see, that's flat nose. Where's my needle nose? Here we go. We're just going to do a loop really quick. And I mean, you can make a ton of these in an hour. Just, I like save all my bits in a like a bowl right here. And then I just grab from what I'm doing, the colors I'm using, I just grab from there. And then we'll just do this really quick. So you're going to take your glass bead and your jewelry wire and you're going to run that through. And then you're going to take your wire snips and snip that off. Be careful you don't get stuck in your eye. Needle nose pliers, and Misty kind of showed me how to do this. She just folded over and just runs the loop over each other like this. And this is a fun way. I used to do it the other way where you kind of bend it this way and then pull it back forward. But this is a fast way, and it's pretty secure, and I like it. So thanks, Misty, for that. She's an awesome beater, by the way. And then if you have a little tail, I just kind of take the snips. And then you're going to take your jump ring. Now there is a way to open a jump ring, and I'm sure you guys all know that. You turn it away from each other, and then you bring it back together. So you're just going to take your pliers and pull it away from each other. And then all I did was just hook this on, put my bell, my gypsy bell on, take my flat nose pliers and brought it back together. I kind of wiggle it until I can hear it touch each other and they're flush. So there you go, guys. There's that. There's your little charm. And then you just, let's see where we at. You just, actually I shouldn't have closed that just yet. But you can just, that's really quick. You just open it up. Just run it through. And you can use a jump ring to do this. You don't have to do it this way. And then just close it back up. Like that. So there's that part. And then you're going to glue your little tool and your fabric together. And what I do is either I put it on here and stick it onto my silicone pad, or I make just a little tiny dollop and I stick it here and I push it flat, because I don't like bulk in my work with hot glue guns. So I flatten it until it's cool and then I peel it off and it's flat. And then after I do that, I'll take a little bit more. Sorry, I'm using my left hand with the glue gun. Get the previous glue hot, and then I will stick it to the front. But I'll open the pages, because sometimes, you know, if you're using like crochet or doilies, you don't want to pinch it together because you might glue the two pieces together, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do this. Just get it open like that. And then so that's glued down. And then same with the little piece of doily. You want to open it up and put it on the front inner part like this, because you want it to show. So I'm just going to take a strip of hot glue really quick and stick this on, and don't burn yourself. Right? Don't burn yourself. So then you have the little tiny piece of doily hanging down. Sorry guys, I don't have the kind of webcam I have, which is a really nice webcam, but it does not allow me to show close up. So anyways, then you find your little trinket, which I'm going to whip stitch this on, but for just to save time, just to get to my questions, I'm just going to hot glue this in place really quick, and then I will stitch that on. And then these are just little numbers, nothing fancy, and I just distressed them with some vintage, I think I used vintage photo, Tim Holtz of course, and take some fabric tack, stick that on there, and then put your numbers on. Okay. So there you go, you guys. That's it. That's it. Super simple. And then you'll have your openings as tabs for your journal. So your signature. So you'll be like, you know, like this. And those hang out on the side of your book. And I thought that was really, really cute. I just loved it so much that I thought I'd show you guys really quick since I was on my last one. And I still needed to do my my 10 questions. So I'll leave this here so you guys can just look at it, and I'll move this stuff. Okay, the 10 crafty questions super fast. What is your name? My name is Angie, so nice to meet everybody. All my new subs. Okay. YouTube name. How did I come up with my YouTube name? I came up with my YouTube name by what I was doing at the time, and I excuse me guys, I'm a little tiny house builder. I build these little itty bitty houses, and at the time I was into it full force, full time. And but I've always been meaning to change my YouTube name because I wanted to let everybody know that I'm not just a little itty bitty builder. I do a lot of other things, and not that I'm not going to ever do little houses again. I still do them. I still hold a contract with the gallery, and I'm still very, I will always make little houses. That's something that's a huge part of me, so please don't worry. I still will do the little houses. I just felt that itty bitty crafts boxed me into one genre, and I like to do so many different things that I felt that a name change was good, and these 10 questions kind of forced me to talk about it. So thank you. So yeah, so if you guys will stay tuned, I'm gonna have an update video with my new YouTube channel name, and I would really appreciate your support on that. So 3, your favorite craft. Well, it depends on how I'm feeling. I love texture, layers, vintage and rusty bits, and some of my favorite things to do that bring me a lot of joy is photography, encaustics, junk journaling, paper clay, mixed media, distressing furniture, fabric art, watercolors, oil colors, modern calligraphy, obviously tiny art, doll making, mixed media. So there's that. Your favorite places to shop? Well, that would be Michael's, Joann's, and Hobby Lobby. Everybody's 3 favorites. But also mom and pop shops, thrift stores, estate sales, junkyards, people leaving stuff on the side of the road. I don't dig into garbage, but if somebody leaves like a piece of furniture or something like that I can use, totally into it. My dad's garage sometimes. My husband's garage, because I use a lot of nails and rusty bits and washers, and I love to add all these elements to anything that I'm doing, so I'm always digging. I live out on a piece of property out here in a valley in the mountains, and we have these old homesteads that we own, and they're just full of stuff and just little rusty bits, and so that's been fun. But yeah, just shop your own home, kind of too. Okay, number 5. Your top 5 YouTube channels. That one's kind of a hard one for me. I think it's kind of a hard one for a lot of ladies. I originally got my first YouTube being inspired just from a person was Michele Besham and books. She had a TV channel called The Original years way back. I don't know if you all know her or follow her, but she does not have a YouTube channel. I wish she did. She does have an Instagram, but she's one of my biggest influencers. She just took nature and odds and ends, and she repurposed them, and she was kind of one of the first people I saw just repurpose junk, and I've always found that fascinating, and I loved it, and so that was kind of somebody who really inspires me. If Mother Nature had a YouTube channel, I definitely would be her biggest fan because I love nature. I get so inspired by Mother Nature, just sitting out there smelling the fresh air, the clouds. I love clouds, so the textures and the layers, I just love that. But there's just so many ladies out there. You're all so super talented. I love just supporting your channel, and you guys are so talented. I've learned so many from so many that there's not just 5. I wish I could just pick 5, but that would be really super tough because I owe you all credit. I think you're all wonderful crafters, but the other YouTube is books. I learned a lot of things through books. Today I'm still a book buyer. I buy books, and I love to learn through books and through artists through books. All right, sorry, that was kind of long. All right, number 6, your favorite color. I always have a running joke of my favorite color. I say it's clear, but I love all kinds of colors. I'm into the neutral, natural, rustic, warm colors. If I had to say, hey, you have to pick a color, it would probably be Indian teal. That's what I tell people. But I don't, I don't buy Indian teal. I don't, um, I don't really wear it, but it's just a really striking color to me. So if I had to pick one, it'd be Indian teal. Um, but I love all spectrums of colors. It's just I love certain tones of that color. Like here, I don't know, I got a little pile. Obviously creams. Here's a color, but it's a muted purple. And, different forms of cream, or different shades of cream, excuse me. So it just depends. If it's green, it's more on the sagey or light sage kind of colors, and warm, kind of the earthy kind of sage. Same for browns and whites and purples and greens and blues. So it just varies, it's if I have a pop of color, like red for say, it'll be on the warmer color, it won't be like a bright red or a bright green. So more on the warmer sides. Okay, 7, your favorite craft tools. Well, it depends on what I'm working on. If I'm working on little houses, it's the drill and the needle nose plier. If it's clay, it's clay tools, dental tools. Fabric, obviously, it's the glue gun or fabric tack. Junk journals, the fabric tack. Um, Pliers, I use a lot of the pliers. So it's just it varies on what I'm working on. The sewing machine is one of my favorite tools. One of my biggest tool that I love is my camera. I use my camera a lot. I do a lot of work with my camera, and I love to take pictures of my work, and so I think that's very important. Take really good pictures of your work. So my camera is one of my biggest tool that I love. But other than that, it just depends on what I'm working on. But I do, I have my two goes, obviously. Where do you get your crafty love from? Where do I get my crafty loves? Probably, I would have to say, ever since I was a little girl, my mom, she was always decorating or rearranging things. So, I mean, you could go home one day and you could leave home for school one day one way and then come back and try to sit down and it's a different way. So my mom was always moving things around or rearranging, and I found that very creative, and I found myself as a little girl going in my room and rearranging and trying to figure out how I could make my room look different and being creative with it. So my crafty love kind of started there. And okay, so number 9, when did you start crafting? Well, that kind of coincides with question number 8. I started crafting since I was a little tiny girl. The times that my grandma did babysit us, I always would know that I would go to her house in the morning and she would say, what are we cooking, what are we baking, and what are we making? And so every day she taught me how to cook something or bake, and how to sew something. And I am not a seamstress by any means. I call my sewing very whimsical. But I do love it, and she was very good at it, and I got to help her, and I was very fascinated just with the way you can put things together with fabric and make something. So she made my costumes a lot. We made curtains together, all kinds of things. And same with my aunt. My aunt was a big influencer. She also did sewing and crafts. And my mother and my older sister, I have an older sister who is very talented. She loves paper, and she's an artist and does many things as well. I had to say my big sister is one of my biggest fans, but she doesn't realize she's one of my biggest. I'm one of her biggest fans. She's amazing. So when we do get together, which is not, a lot, and I'm hoping that changes, but when we do get together, she's a big crafter. When we get to experiment and do whatever in her craft room, she just lets me have free range. She's not one of those ones that are like, don't touch that, or you can't use that. She's amazing, and I love her to death. So it started since, like I was little, and I've I've been very blessed to have the family members in my life, and I've also been very blessed with art teachers throughout elementary all the ways up until my senior year of high school. They were amazing, and I've always become best friends with my art teachers, and we've always had that special like bond of creating. And I was always one that wanted to sit in the front row. I was a listener, and so that was a very important part of my life. And then my adult years, I've been very blessed to take many hands-on workshops and online workshops. And when I got in photography, I was very blessed to have hands-on mentors, teaching me the old school way of photography, teaching me the right way, which there is a right way, in my opinion. So I've been very blessed that way throughout my years, and I've had a lot of support, which is very important. All right, number 10, last one, guys. What is your favorite craft or art so far? Again, such a hard question because it just depends how I'm feeling. I get into a certain art or medium and I fly with it for either a little bit or a long time. Photography will always be there. Little building, little tiny house will always be there. Encaustics will always be there. But what I'm into so far is I've been into reintroduce myself into paper crafts this last year, and junk journaling, I was totally hooked watching Abby and Michelle, and they're just so they do such beautiful work, and I did not want to go down that rabbit hole, but I did because I was so fascinated and I appreciated their help. They helped me out so much. And obviously I've taken some Nick the Booksmith courses to further my education, because I think it's important to educate you on what you're doing. There's nothing wrong, because I'm a self-taught artist, but it's also fun to learn. I love to learn. I love to learn. I think that's why I'm an artist of many things. I don't call myself a professional. I'm more of an artist in the making, because I think you're always learning. I love, to challenge myself, because I've always went by a quote, which you guys are probably all sick of hearing. But if you're comfortable in what you're doing, you're not challenging yourself. So I always like to challenge myself. I don't try to go big. I just try to focus on experimenting and doing different things. It keeps me balanced. I love fabric art, which I'm into at the moment as well. And I like shabby chic as well, and I can do pretty, but I do it my own style, and I don't think there's anything wrong with putting your own style on anything. I don't think there's a right or wrong way, and I'm kind of a little bit of a rule breaker anyways, so I kind of just do what I like to do, and I stay focused on what I like, not what everybody, what else is out there. You might get inspired. I get inspired every day, but I tend to put my own style onto it, and I guess that's kind of what creates my signature, I guess, if you want to say. But yeah, this was fun. Thank you so much. I'm so happy you made it to the end. I appreciate all your support. I wouldn't be here on YouTube without it, and I appreciate it. So this was a lot of fun. If you guys have any questions or want to know anything else, leave a comment below, or tell me what your loves are, or if we had anything in common. I love to go back and forth and chit chat with other artists about something that they love that I love. So that's fun. Yeah, I guess that's it. And oh my goodness, I almost forgot, like Tracy. Oh my gosh, I'm supposed to nominate somebody to do the crafty 10 questions. I haven't been on YouTube. I'm getting back into it. Like I said, I had some things going on this last couple months. I'm not sure who has not done that. I don't think, I haven't seen Abby from Purple Cottage Crafts. Abby, I nominate you. I don't know how many we're supposed to nominate, one or more. If I'm supposed to do more, let's see. I'm not sure if Michelle Scott or Maggie or Amy or Lorelle have done it. I mean, you guys, whatever. But I think it's fun to know and learn from others too. So if it's something you guys want to do, please do it. It's fun. I thought this was a great challenge. I can't thank everyone enough, and all my new subs. All right, I will stop rambling. And please stay tuned for my update on my new YouTube name, and I may have a challenge coming up, and so we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. Hope everybody has a lovely week, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye.